Hello, my name is Rich Moscoso, Senior Field Applications Engineer with AVer Pro AV, and today I want to discuss our Ptz Management Software combined with our CL01 camera controller. As always, I can be reached at rich.moscoso@aver.com for any further questions after this video. So some of you may or may not be familiar with our Ptz Management Software, but what it enables you to do is actually have control of up to 256 cameras per instance. It's available for a Windows platform and basically gives you ability to manage the cameras, call up presets, save presets, check the firmware version, schedule the cameras to either reboot, power on, power off. So there's scheduling. So it has many features built in with it. Also, our CL01 camera controller on its own can control up to 255 cameras with VSCO over IP. But what we have done is combined the CL01 and Ptz management so that it's just a matter of selecting the camera or the room that you want to control with a mouse click, and then the CL01 camera controller would have control of that room. So here's a basic setup. So whether it's 3 cameras or 103 cameras, and whether you're in a, say, telemedicine type situation or multiple camera type situation, broadcast, the same would be true, right? Because it's just easy access or ability to control the cameras with the CL01 without having the need to select each individual camera with the mouse or with either the CL01 or using multiple mouse clicks through Ptz management. It's really beneficial to have a tactile interface to just be able to grab that camera and have control of it with a joystick or using the presets from the CL01, even saving presets or perhaps bringing up the backlight compensation of the cameras. So it's a matter of a couple steps here. So step one is you're going to make the physical connections, right? So the cameras are on the network going through a switch, and then we have a Windows PC. You are going to need a USB to 9-pin serial adapter like shown here. And then with that, it's going to make a direct connection to the RS-232 9-pin connection on the back of the CL01. You'll probably have to go through a null modem. This basically flips the transmit and receive lines so that the CL01 will communicate with your laptop. Step two, if you don't have Ptz management already, go to averusa.com, click on the Pro AV tile, and then select support. Once you're on the support page, go ahead and click on the software tab. And on the right-hand side, you should be able to see the AVer Ptz Management Software. It is free. There is no yearly subscription or anything like this. So go ahead and download it. The latest version as of this recording is version 1037. And there's also a user manual and some release notes available. So once it's downloaded and installed, you're going to log in to Ptz Management as an admin user. So the default login is admin, and the default password is admin as well, lowercase, I believe. And then from there, you can actually create users from there, right? So Ptz Management has 2 user profiles, an admin profile and then just a user profile. So you just want to make sure you're logged in as an admin user. I will go ahead and go through these slides, but I will actually go through it live after I get through these slides. So once you log in as an admin user, you will select Setup, then System. Under System, you will see Camera Controller Setting. You select Setting, and you're going to verify that the correct COM port uh, of the device is selected and that the speed is set to 9600. So I'll kind of walk through this. So this little image here is of your device manager in Windows that shows that adapter cable that I had mentioned before, the USB to serial converter. Make sure it's the Windows sees it and that the USB ports are open and not locked out. You should see that same information populated here in Ptz Management as well. The next thing that I would recommend doing is doing a test. So you should get a reply once you select test. Testing replies successfully. So this is what it looks like when the cable's good and everything. The pins are matching. You know, receive lines are going to transmit lines, etc. You should get a testing reply successful. So this is an example of a good test. If you get an error message like test failed, please check your cabling. Most likely the null modem or cabling pinouts are not correct. And then also verify that when you do select the test that the CL01 is powered on and awake, right? So it could be plugged in, but if you kind of like looked away from it, it may have gone to sleep. So just make sure it is awake. And an easy way to wake it up is to hit the joystick or just press a button, and that'll wake up the CL01. Step 3, once that tests successfully, you can go back to the main camera page, select a room, and now the CL01 will have control of that room's camera. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Let me go ahead and show you that kind of live, right? So let's see, let me go back to here. I'm gonna do this. So as mentioned before, we're gonna call up Ptz Management. I'm gonna bring this up here. I'm gonna go ahead and fade over. And then that way you'll just see. So this is Ptz Management. I already created a user with admin privileges. And here is Ptz Management. So as I mentioned before, go to Setup, go to System, and you see Camera Controller Setting, right? Make sure this matches whatever's in your device manager. So if you bring up device manager, you have your USB cable connected, you should see under your, what am I looking for? COM ports. So right here, that is that device, that USB to serial converter should be right here as well. So just hit this caret, and it should be the only one there unless you have multiple cables connected. You select test, and then you should get a testing reply successful. Again, if you get a fail, check your cabling and make sure the CL01 camera is connected. So once that is tested positive, make sure that it is enabled, right? I think by default it is disabled, so make sure this is enabled. Once you do that, I mentioned go back to the main camera page, select the camera, and at this point, you should have control of the camera that you have selected, as I do here. So whichever camera that I now select, like let's say over here, I can now control that camera, right? So let me do this. Let's see if I can zoom in here. So this is how I have mine connected. It's the CL01 through the RS-232, null modem. This is a straight 9-pin cable, extending my USB cable, which is this blue one here. And that's pretty it. It's pretty straightforward. Let me minimize that. Come back here. go over here. So now instead of having to press buttons, and let's say what whether you have, as I mentioned, 3 cameras, 103 cameras, the ability to be able to just select that camera and then have control of it is really a great help, because although Ptz Management does have these controls here for camera control, um, and the ability to call up presets, it's also nice to be able to just grab that tactile interface and have control of that camera. So let me just end it here. So hopefully this video has proved helpful, and showing you the quick installation of Ptz Management as well as our CL01 camera controller. Thank you and good luck.